If you've heard of underconsumption core, project pan, or even a low buy or no buy year, then oh my god, you are in the right place, because this video we are prepping for our 2025 no buy year. If you're new here, my name is Crystalline, but you can call me Krys, and we chat all things mind, body, and planet here on this corner of the internet. Because we talk all things mind, body, and planet, it only sounds right to really give a no buy year a full shot, a full chance. I've done no buy weeks before, I've done no buy months before. It's kind of a concept you can tailor to whatever your specific needs are, but I am ready to do a full no buy year. So today marks day one of prepping for what that will look like. It's honestly not as hard as it seems, and while you could go like free willy into a year or a month and say I'm just not going to buy anything, I find that it really helps to have organizational like systems and rules that you can follow and always go back to that really help make a full no buy year feel manageable. While I am doing a no buy year, you can also do a low buy year, which is a very similar concept. It's just, again, tailoring this sort of choose your own adventure plan that works for you and whatever your goals are. So let's pop in to what a no buy year for 2025 is going to look like. Starting with goals, talking about what rules I'll be following this year, as well as prep, things we can do to prep for it. Okay, I'm going to look at my computer and read the real definition of what a no-buy year is, and I will throw it on the screen for you to read it too. A no-buy year is a personal challenge where someone commits to not buying any non-essential items for a full year, focusing only on spending money on necessary things like food, housing, and utilities, essentially aiming to minimize unnecessary consumption and save money by consciously reducing purchases. That's the definition that Google AI gave me. So that's the definition we're going to stand by and use today. You may be wondering, why the heck would anyone do a no buy or low buy year? Well, there's a lot of different goals you could do. For me, we have decided we want to save up to move to a new house. So saving a little bit of cash can't hurt. I also have found myself getting highly frustrated with just the sheer amount of stuff that I own. I've never really considered myself to be like a true minimalist. I'm definitely someone who I like to experiment and try new makeup, skincare, or hair care. I always get like the itch to like fully like redo a room because I get bored with the way it looks. I think maybe because I work from home, I get tired of looking at the same walls. So it's just really easy to be like, let's just switch it up a little bit. But the more stuff that I own, the more frustrated I get because it just feels like my whole house has become clutter. And every time I try to declutter things, I feel bad for throwing things away that I've spent good money on. Some stuff you just can't donate. Like if it's a half-used lotion bottle, there's no sense in donating that. And I feel like a no-buy year is a great way to focus for the entire year to use up the stuff that we already have before purchasing something new. I just love that concept. And I feel like we're starting to see that with underconsumption core and even Project Pan, which I don't know why it took me so long to learn about Project Pan. I just learned about it last month and I'm obsessed. So now all my makeup is in Project Pan. I am no stranger to seeing things on social media that people are like, oh, this is the up and coming product or the next best thing or the dupe of some expensive brand. And of course I buy it, and then 9 times out of 10, I don't even like it. And I know I'm not alone on this, okay? So don't pretend that this does not happen to you too. So overall goals, we want to save up to potentially move in the next couple of years. And also I just want less clutter in my house. Moving on to rules. Rules can really fluctuate based on kind of what your goals are here and what your problem points are. And my problem points, one of them is definitely decor. I mentioned this, I get bored looking at the same walls, so then I end up buying paint and I paint the whole room a different color, or I buy different artwork or blankets or things like that. So rule number 1, no new decor. I think the only exception to this rule would be if it is secondhand and it is something that I have been thinking about for at least 90 days. Because it's so easy now to just like Google black nightstands and then 1,000 of them pop up on Google, and then you can buy any single one that you see and it comes to your house within the next couple of weeks. The goal is I have to actually really want it. Putting the no home decor rule on this list also encourages me to use the stuff we already have in our house. We have so many paintings that are sitting in a closet, and it's easy enough that I can kind of swap out and rotate paintings or at least rearrange things in my house so that way it feels new without spending money to make it feel new. On this same note, no seasonal decor. We have enough seasonal seasonal decor. I'm a sucker. It's like the holiday December season right now that I'm recording this. So of course, like, you walk into a store and you're like, oh, like a new Christmas tree or some new ornaments or this or that or nutcracker or Santa Claus or a gingerbread house. I'm a sucker for a gingerbread house. So no, the answer is no, we have enough. We have all that we need and more. In fact, I didn't even put up all of our Christmas decorations. Half of it is still in storage because I just looked at it this year and was like, I don't feel the need to put up all of this year. Okay, I mentioned Project Pan. With my makeup products, I am not allowing myself to buy any makeup unless I am fully out of a product. So like right now, I probably have, I think 6 different blushes. I am not allowed to buy any new blushes unless I have completely finished, like hit the pan on the blushes that I already have. Same thing goes with concealer, foundation, eyeshadow, lipstick, all of that stuff. I'm not allowed to buy anything new unless I have fully finished the product that I currently actively have, which I think I'm going to do a spin-off series on Project Pan as well, because I do find it really interesting and I love watching other people's videos. So why not be a part of the fun? I'll insert a clip of what my makeup bag looks like, but it's actually insane how full it is. Another thing that I'm a sucker for, I'm a cozy girl at heart. So of course I'm a huge candle person. So I have to put a rule on my list that I cannot buy any new candles unless I am completely out of the candles that I already have. Are we seeing a theme here? I need to use up the things I already have before getting something new. That's kind of a huge goal and purpose in this no buy year, is focusing on the things I already have. Another rule, personally, I've never really been like a huge like clothing shopper. That's never been something that I've kind of struggled with buying too much of. But as I get older, I do feel like I'm kind of maturing into a slightly different style of clothing. I'm definitely leaning into like more functional pieces, since again, I do work from home, so it doesn't make sense for me to have 10 pairs of jeans. It makes more sense for me to have like loungewear clothing that's comfortable to wear around. So my rule on clothing is that it has to be 100% natural fibers in order for me to buy it. So I'm talking cotton, linen, wool, silk. I find when I buy natural fiber clothing, I wear it more, I like it more, it feels more breathable, and it lasts longer than buying something that's polyester or rayon or nylon that just pills after a while. And really, I only want to push myself to buy clothing if I feel like it is a real gap in my wardrobe. And I have a love-hate relationship with saying gaps in wardrobe, because I do feel like it's like a slight like marketing thing that people say is like, oh, find the gaps. And then if your gap is like a basic t-shirt, but you never wear basic t-shirts, then maybe that's not a real gap for your personal lifestyle. Anyways, I digress. But if I find like a true gap in my wardrobe, I am going to write it down in my notes app, which I can show you my current wish list now that I have been trying to keep track of for the last couple of months. If it doesn't fall into this category of things where I've been actively putting together outfits and I'm like, wow, I really wish I had a pair of dark wash jeans, then I'm not allowed to get it either. So it needs to kind of fall into these multiple categories: 100% natural fibers, it needs to be secondhand, and it also has to be on my gaps within my wardrobe that I've written down for at least 7 days. Okay, this is probably my favorite rule because I am notorious for doing this. No backup products. Okay, when there's a sale on something and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna run out of it, so I'm gonna buy 3 of them. No, we are not doing that anymore. I'm cutting that habit in 2025. Just buy one. That's all you need is one. This one is going to be a little bit harder because it's not just me, but also my husband and of course like family when family's in town and stuff. But I'm going to try and stick to it the best that I can. Only eating out twice a week. And that would be like a Friday night dinner and a Saturday night dinner. I would love to just prep and have like a full-on meal like schedule for what I'm doing for when I go grocery shopping. So then that way I can account, okay, we're going to eat out Friday night, we're going to eat out Saturday night, but I still need to plan for what am I going to have for lunch those days? What am I going to have for breakfast those days as well? Currently, I am really good about writing like a weekly menu, if you want to call it that. And on the menu, I'll write down Monday through Friday, but I don't ever put the weekends on there. And then when I go grocery shopping, I only buy food Monday through Friday. So then the weekend comes around and I'm like hungry, and maybe sometimes I have leftovers if I'm lucky. Sometimes I don't have leftovers, and then I am so hungry, and then I end up just going somewhere random and getting food because I'm like, I have no food at home and I did not plan accordingly. So I would like to fix that habit by focusing on only eating out on Saturdays and Sundays, just twice a week. Gonna be a little bit harder because it's not just me on that one, because it is also my husband, and also things happen, family comes in town, things like that. So the only exception would be special occasions or when we're traveling. Last but not least, one of my rules is grocery shopping. Always having a list whenever I'm shopping. I have been pretty good about planning like my menu for the week, but sometimes like I'll just put something vague on there, like protein, veggie, salad. And then I get to the store and then I end up picking up like two different protein options or two different veggie options. And then we kind of have leftovers that end up not lasting super long. And then they have to go in the compost, or I just spend more money than I actually need to. So I want to do that. I think another way to kind of combat this too is doing curbside, because you have to really plan to do a curbside. You can't just like stroll around the store and kind of pick up and put random things in your cart that you may or may not eat. Those are my rules. I know that is kind of a lot, and it's definitely going to be a challenge. And I think a good reminder is that small steps are still steps. So even if I don't stick fully to my rules list 100% of the time, it's still better than the way I've been spending and consuming for the past couple of years. Okay, let's move on to prep. Here are things that I'm doing to prep for my no buy year. Number one is decluttering to take inventory. Because there are so many cabinets and so many drawers and so many closets that you can look through, things really get shoved to the back and you forget that they're even in there. Slowly but surely, I'm picking one room, one section of my house and going through, decluttering, taking it out, cleaning my cabinets, cleaning the drawers, and seeing what I have in there so I can remember. For example, I was going through my bathroom cabinet just the other day and I found that I had a heat protectant, probably like 4 years old. I had no idea it was in there. So that has now entered my project pan pile that I'm trying to use up. Speaking of project pan, that is another way to prep for a no buy year. Once you take inventory of everything that you have, maybe you find a couple pieces or find a couple products that you're like, oh, I forgot I will have half of it left and it's been half empty for 6 months, let's go ahead and commit to finishing up that product. I think Project Pan is easiest whenever you have like a separate container or separate bucket where you put all your Project Pan items in it. Then that way you can visually see all the items that you're trying to get through within that month or next couple of months. So I have started Project Pan. I have my items in their own little bucket that I have been using every day, including a full routine face of makeup that I'm wearing right now. Let's say you're going through your decluttering and you have a bunch of items that you're like, I don't know what to do with them. My recommendation, instead of just donating them to like your Goodwill, definitely put them on your local Buy Nothing group. They're usually on Facebook. You can join them for your city or community and post them there. Somebody else might be interested in trying out whatever half-used lotion maybe you have, or maybe you have some extra cords because you upgraded your phone and now your old cords you have no purpose for anymore. So definitely put that stuff on your Buy Nothing group. Someone else might be interested in it. And it's always nice to know that you can kind of give things away to your community. I know donating kind of feels like you're doing that because you're donating it to the community. But in reality, like if you're donating to Goodwill, for example, you're giving it for free, but they're now charging other people to then pay for those products. So I like a Buy Nothing group because it's truly a free exchange and you're helping somebody else in your community who maybe couldn't afford it to begin with. I plan to track all my spending this year and share updates throughout the year, and I hope you guys can do it with me. I actually just put together this no buy challenge Notion template that you can find on my website. It has everything you could possibly need to have a successful no buy challenge. And again, you can tailor this to be a no buy week, no buy month, no buy year, and you can find that on my website. Let me know in the comments if you've done a low buy or a no buy challenge before, and if you're planning on doing it for the first time with me, then let me know what your goals are that you want to get out of it by the end of the year. I'm just so excited. I just know 2025 is going to be such a good year, and a no buy challenge is really going to just totally refresh my outlook on consuming and spending and saving money for things that actually matter to me, not all the little silly things that I end up impulse purchasing. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you like this, there are plenty more videos on my page, and you can subscribe for more videos like this, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!